translocator at that time. If you're a Sombra without translocator and you can't, you're pretty much back there on RCK.
は使いづら。
One another's translocators and destroying them. If you're a Sombra and you're about to use a translocator that doesn't actually exist because someone destroyed it and you're about to die, you feel pretty bad.
Or you see,
You feel pretty bad.
or you see them like sit on top of the translocator, hack, ult charge.
He didn't survive it.
Closer drop though. Yeah, I mean this should be Shanghai able to take point A.
I mean, the attention of the Dallas Fuel was so split that Ding gets to spend so much of that fight just sitting and doing damage. Gets 80% towards that EMP, vastly ahead of RCK. Very good showing from the Dragons early on, and really they just play together.
And then do you want to stay on this if you're the Dallas Fuel much longer? You're not exactly close to an EMP. You know the Dragons a full fight pretty much just, and then at that point, playing for like the last fight here from point A to B around your own EMP. So.
Well, I don't know. Talking to some of these players from the Dallas Fuel last week, they said, yeah, like Sombra was a problem for us. We just didn't really have great responses to it. Maybe this is their response, play Sombra against Sombra. A lot of early damage there towards the Dragons, but the EMP just lets them smooth. RCK gets hacked there, and he wasn't going to be going anywhere.
And that's what I was talking about, right? You get a free fight ability. RCK will have his in the next fight. But, you know, you have, let's say for argument's sake, you know, Luffy stays out of position, right? He doesn't get caught by the EMP. He comes in with a Transcendence. Dragons may win that fight, and they're going to have a very good time going from A to B as well. They're going to set a very good time for the overall map.
Ooh, cheeky. Didn't quite get that hack off. Then Zachary's able to chase down most of the Dragons. So both teams able to leverage Sombra, but we kind of knew that already.
Now, Ding in the just kind of like behind enemy line.
使いづれー。
You can't really poke for damage. I mean, with Brigitte, you get stunned, some damage comes through, and you're dead, and then the team's just.
But we kind of knew that already.
Now, Ding in the just kind of like behind enemy lines there. Just you can't really poke for damage. I mean, with Brigitte, you get stunned, some damage comes through, and you're dead, and then the team's just waiting even longer. So, see, maybe he can connect.
Inside that room.
There's a hack on OG, they got it.
OG has to come into play. Gamsu gets caught up in a grab. OG to go down first. Inside that room.
There's a hack on OG, they got it.
OG's forced to back away now. The Transcendence has to come into play. Gamsu gets caught up in a grab himself now. Still swinging both Reinhardts. But it's Yongji to go down first. OG lands the charge up against the road cases there. And now Unko's in a great position to continue this avalanche of damage. Ding never got to use EMP, he never got there in that fight. But the Dallas Fuel, again, that's a pressure valve for them to let off.
So he gets the hack onto OG, and then Gamsu gets the shatter, but actually they had a hack going from RCK onto Gamsu.
A good job of disengaging. Early fight, but now they follow it up. Gamsu swinging very heavily towards knocked down by the shatter, and that's a huge combo! Oh, it's nasty! Luffy now is just going to get wrecked. GM wasn't far behind. The Dallas Fuel managed to hold on.
If you're going to solo EMP the Rhine, why not just get on top of the jail there and try and get a hack off instead?
It looks like they were trying to catch someone out.
I mean, no, they tried to catch OG a little bit further up and then use the hack to get him to drop the shield right and then push on forward. And then you just see how much more effective RCK is on the other side. He lands with all
six.
It's
so telegraphed. You open that fight with a rally. So the Dallas Fuel know that you're trying to fight them. You literally rally from 100 paces away, and then you run at them with a speed boost. And Dallas were able to just see this, disengage, and not get the whole team EMP.
And Zachary makes a heads-up play. RCK actually gets hacked there, doesn't have the translocate. He runs with rally all the way over to keep him up.
Now comes to take it down. OG finds another good charge to the grab, but damn is right behind. Fire strike to finish that kill. And OG has got himself yet another Earth Shatter. Unko's Transcendence also very important, and RCK leads in that EMP race.
So, it'll probably come down to this next fight. No, probably to decide if the Dragons actually take this point, whether they get a good use of this EMP or not. A lot of area where the Dallas Fuel defense is set up here by the Saloon to hide supports from that line of sight. If they just kind of roll on through here with the rally and then into the EMP again, I imagine Dallas is going to have a better response, just like how they had last time. As double here.
There it is. Hits pretty hard.
All 6.
Ding won't have a chance to use his. And you see, before that fight started, Ding tried to force Transcendence out of Unco. It was pretty subtle, but he jumped into the saloon, trying to force him to go for that ultimate. Unco, there's a steal. Didn't go.
So get this. Both of the Sombras have gotten their ult in almost at the exact same time. The minute 39 seconds for RCK, Ding in a minute 37. The difference is RCK is connected with 16 enemies with the EMP, where Ding is only connected with 5. So you're just kind of like, with the Dragons are using it like really early, connecting with one player, trying to burn them down.
I wonder if the Shanghai Dragons want to fight. Yeah, probably. Here's the EMP, but the Graviton Surge already went down, and Unco descends from above. And he had Transcendence back. Yeah, I mean, it is clear. It is very obvious. I mean, these are long sight lines, right? I don't know about that EMP was maybe necessary for RCK, but...
that, yeah. But maybe he was trying to catch Ding, like...
Oh, here we go. OG, please. Oh, no, he's been spotted. Okay. Koma sees that OG was trying to go for a sneaky flanking shatter. So he now has to, you know, behave himself and play with the rest of his team. 10 seconds remain and one team fight left for the Dragons. They have really been stopped by Dallas Fuel, who've displayed some good coordination in the last few fights. Let's see if that continues. OG was hacked immediately. Zachary already taken down. Graviton Surge working out, and OG gets pinned up against the wall. But now the sound barrier is being brought into the fight. Unco, AKM, RCK, all knocked down. Unco gets back up though, and the counter Earth Shatter just wasn't down.
なんで全然やってきてんだよこれ。早くしねえずにやった。
But most of the team's already taken down, and now the Dragons can break through.
But that's a fight they should have had 3 fights ago. It wasn't telegraphed. Ding is up on the high ground. He's able to hack OG from behind. They're able to force the ultimates out, and they're able to take that fight. That fight could have happened, you know, with 2 minutes left for the Dragons. But, you know, they kept going with that telegraphed offensive setup. And Dallas isn't going to fall for that over and over again. They knew exactly what was coming.
OG playing close. Discord Orb. Gets given a bubble, which will take care of that Discord Orb, but he's still low on health. He needs to back away. No burst healing available unless it's from Zachary. And there goes the EMP onto 3. The Dallas Fuel are disengaging pretty well, and now Unco with the Transcendence can just sort of shrug off this Graviton. Now the Fuel want to get aggressive with the tail end of that Zenyatta ultimate, and this forces out the sound barrier for the Shanghai Dragons.
This is what Dallas wants. They want to play close. You win the fight, incredible. But look, the Dragons have had to invest so many ultimates just to potentially get the cart around the corner.
Trying to get rid of AKM's charge here. Zachary defending him. Oh, he keeps the Zarya alive. That's huge.
And Unco 1v1's comb in the back. So now with all those ultimates gone, look, the Dragons, they have Transcendence. They're about halfway to another grab, and then they have Shatter. You're going to walk right into this EMP, though, of RCK. Closer here with the sound barrier. Looking good for the Fuel on D.
Luffy has the EMP outside the studios and then run in. He should be expecting there to be an EMP right now. And he's going to Transcendence preemptively here.
But you can just disengage if you're Dallas, though.
RCK did use the EMP. He only caught Yongjin, though. Gamsu down. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far in the fight. Shadow knocks Ding down to the backside, and RCK jumps on top. He's able to translocate out before Koma can get the revenge kill on Kim. And now Yongjin is, he's looking pretty average. I'll be honest with you. Not looking great. DM now having to come forward, use his personal barrier in a desperate Graviton Surge, but who's going to follow up the damage? Gamsu Fire Strike charges in, but the sound barrier was given by Closer in the backline, and it got to the Dallas Fuel. It kept them up. And this is where the Shanghai Dragons are going to be held.
Oh, the Dragons had such a good first offensive push. They're push on to point A. They take it really fast. It's just those telegraphed offenses going to take point B that really sets them behind in the overall scope of the map.
The Fuel will have to be pretty pleased to have stopped the Dragons from finishing the map at all. The Sombra play from both teams exquisite. More to come as the Fuel go on the attack after this.
なんだってお前は。
何お前。
なんだってお前は。
頭が死んでるお前。大丈夫？
はい、勝ちー。
負けちゃったよ。大丈夫？
はい、勝ちー。これ見ていいよ。
これってコマンドセンター。
今、オーバーウォッチリーグのね、有料会員特典のあれ使ってんだよ。
うん。
で、 これ使うと、
うん。
真上からフィールド全体を見れんの。
強そう。
アーカイブだと見れないから今配信してデータ残してんの。
The Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons have made Hollywood look messy than Sunset Boulevard on a Saturday night. It is all happening here. Very brawly first half.
And I feel like it's another half where the Dragons on Nepal so close to winning. The Dragons there, they look great. Going into point A, they just steamroll through Dallas. The first fight from A to B looks great. Big use of the EMP. It's after that where things just become way too predictable. Dallas, a lot of smart players over there. I'm sure they can read into what's exactly happening. I think you get some better EMP uses there in the second stage of the map. I think this is one where you see a 3 on the top of the scoreboard for the Dragons, probably with some time left.
OG might have looked strange to you, ladies and
なんとかだし。
sure that Sombra couldn't hack anyone behind it. Ding was already looking for his first victims. Oh, Gamsu! Oh, he had to turn that shield real quick, and this is going to force the Dragons to rotate to the high ground. Dallas probably want to disengage a little bit. Oh, Gamsu, he's too deep! Way too far ahead of the rest of the Dragons there. That we're going
や
to
っぱこ
rotate
の
to
上から見るのが一番わかりやすいわ。
RCK is looking for someone to hack.
So, with a Reinhardt going against the Sombra, it makes your life even more difficult as Unko with a headshot on the Youngjin, a headshot on a Ding as well. Unko picks up 2. But you walk in, you want to put down some damage, you want to build up some charge for your Zarya. The bubble wears off, you got your shield down for a split second. Discord orb a hack, no
ふざけんな、見切れてんじゃねえか。
Right there, Gamsu gets picked off early.
I'm curious as to why
あと俺今やってから
the
伝わっ
Dragons in
て。
general wanted to rotate
今
off
見
the
れ
high
ない。
ground so quickly without sort of everyone even. They weren't even all up the stairs yet before Gamsu had dropped down.
They had a ton of
Discord
time.
immediately.
And there wasn't even like a tick, or close to a tick on the board. Dallas probably would have just rotated out if they would have
Well, I mean, teams in that position rotate to face something.
Yeah.
Here's a rally. This is from the Dallas Fuel this time. And Gamsu again is the first casualty in this fight. OG's not far behind in all fairness. Ding managed to get to him with the orbs. Assistance of Luffy.
あっつあっつあっつあっ
Fuel
つ
have a few more players to push with though. They have 4 and they got 3 supports to work with. So with Ding left alive, he's going to scurry on home.
I think you see Dallas playing better in this map than the first one. I think the first map, with how close it is, Dallas was a bit of a wake-up call that they weren't just going to kind of come in here and beat the Dragons again. Just a little bit of a wake-up
I
call.
talked to them though. They did not think that they would thrash them this time around. They were actually even more nervous than the first time. 4-person EMP. Ding wasn't affected crucially, so he's able to get a responsive EMP on the Dallas Fuel and find 3.
Great
Gamsu
positioning by Unko.
down again. Transcendence for Unko. Crucially, and AKM's able to burn DM down despite that transcendence for the Shanghai Dragons. Luffy's got to be feeling a little bit disenfranchised right now. If only he had the stretchy limbs of his namesake to get him out of here. AKM clutch personal bubble for himself. Stays alive.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Keeping AKM alive there is huge. It's just on the cart. He gets back into play.
なんだこいつ。
This will be, and look, that's
病
what
気だ
the
ろ。
Dragons could have had. If they had a good EMP,
Look at your team. Now back to mine. Now
if
back
they
to
had a
yours.
good EMP,
Now back to mine.
they would have been in just as good a spot as Dallas is here. As you see the golden box of victory, that's all the Dallas Fuel needs to get the cart to win the map.
Closer is currently hacked, so no chance of a sound barrier until he gets that one off. Here's a shatter. DM and Luffy are knocked down. There's going to be an immediate sound barrier now from the Fuel and the Dragons.
They may
But
not
it's
be able to
taken
push the
away.
cart.
The EMP removes the sound barrier from the Dragons. They were waiting, and now Gamsu's the only player that can stand here. DM now has to step up and be accosted by 3 from the Fuel, and there it is. RCK, very timely EMP sound barrier would have been nice for the Dragons. Would have made him a little bit more
ちょっと
durable.
クソだわ。
何見えないの？
いや、今最後の方カメラのさ、外側で戦ってて何が起こってんのか全然わかんなかった。
公式で見えないってマジ。
いや、ちょっとこれはカメラセンスねえわ。 でもやっぱり、あれなんだな。プロでも、無理して突っ込んだやつが最初に死ぬ。
Dallas is right in the thick of the stage 1 playoff hunt, and they're well on their way to putting another W in the win column, up 2-0 over the Dragons at the break. Welcome back to halftime, everybody. Malik here, we got Bren, and we got Wolf joining us this time. Wolf, thank you so much.
はいよ。
No problem. I'm glad to join you.
Yo, so far in this half, man, my heart breaks in Shanghai.
Oh yeah, it
sometimes,
does.
man. You hate to see it.
You
You
hate to see it. Yeah, it was that first map. I mean, I've got some very unkind words I could say. I think for both teams, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the more diplomatic phrase, which is.
まだなんでリバインまで来てんの
Kind of appropriately describes what happened there.
Well, let's take a quick look at some highlights from the Clown Fiesta, starting with Nepal. Again, a little bit all over
なんで
these teams so far, right?
Yes, it was a little.
はなんで
I
は
want to say clean. You know, we witnessed a clean Overwatch just a moment ago. These two
Nande?
teams are definitely being chaotic, definitely being quite a little bit all over the place. So it's an interesting one for me because I'm looking at the Shanghai Dragons and I'm feeling like they had a good start in this opening game. It's very close between both Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons, but I still feel like they're playing under their potential right now.
Yeah, I also feel like they're a very emotional team, and we know that losses like this are definitely going to affect them quite a lot, especially that lost fight there at the end, this one here, where this one just goes completely the other way.
Like, it was all over the place.
Okay, so where did they go wrong here? What happened here at that point?
Where do you begin with all of this stuff? Like,
They had two people on the point.
You've got Youngjin switching to Reaper. You've got DM on Widowmaker. You know, I could get into it, but it would take us 30 minutes. So, you know.
I got like somewhat happy when I saw the Reaper pick come out, and then I was like, he was going one-on-one with Unco, and I was like, what is happening here?
I don't know. It was interesting.
All right, well, let's move on to
オーバーウォッチリーグってさ、あと何試合ぐらいあんの？
わ
かんねえ。
結構チームいっぱいあったよね。配信のスケジュールとかねえのかな？
あれ探せばあるでしょ。
じゃあお前探して。
マジ
うん。い
And it's ironic in this series in particular
や、
because
俺の代わりに探せよ。
to be the stronger Sombra, but the tables certainly have turned here as Dallas is winning these fights here.
ほら、配信してやってんだからさ。
Just on Hollywood, but also on Nepal as well.
Yeah, I gotta give props to RCK personally as well for his performance on Sombra. Started out in the season, he wasn't fantastic. He has improved leaps and bounds. In fact, you look at these statistics, look at how much he's outperforming Ding in that regard. Like the amount of enemies he's hacking, the amount he's EMPing is just absolutely absurd in comparison to what Ding was being able to put off. On top of the hero damage, of course, as well, you can see. Like these numbers, he's just putting insane work on this hero in particular.
Yeah, I think that Dallas just prepared really well for this series. Instead of trying to beat Shanghai's Sombra with 3-3, they decided the best way to do this is to improve RCK. Go
公式のサイト
kind
から
of
見
a
れ
mirror
ないね、
Sombra
ロボッ
versus
トの。
Sombra matchup there.
そこら辺から。
And they clearly made it work. I mean, with such a little prep time and it's the same opponent they just faced that make it work, that's pretty impressive.
I was going to say, do you think that maybe they
kind of experienced the matchup against Ding, so they came in with some data this time.
I think so.
The download's
There's
complete.
a lot of data on Ding as well, like not just in their previous match, but in pretty much all of Shanghai's previous matches.
Download complete, baby. All right, well, guys, we're going into the second
あ
half.
次ディビジョンじゃねえ
Down
よ
to
もう
Shanghai, they need to get back into this game. Final
Okay,
thoughts,
so-
what do they need to do to turn this game around?
It's got to be shutting down RCK, I think, on the Sombra. Like, it's clearly a tech strategy that they're employing here. They've clearly, like, got something planned to try and counteract it. I mean, the one thing you can do against Sombra play is by playing more aggressively into them, denying them away from getting a lot of these hacks off. That's what Shanghai needs to
は何やってんのあのオリサおい
second half.
おい
I think so too. I think trying to shut the Sombra down is the best thing they can do. And maybe a little bit tighter play in general, better communication. I do like Ding in over Gregory here. And I think that
嘘だろ
if you
は
communicate how to shut down RCK, where he is a little bit better, then this is a series they can certainly bring back.
All right, well, Ding has to go in on that Sombra if they want to turn this game around. Shanghai is down 0-2. Can they pull out the reverse sweep? We're going to find out in just a bit.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
And in a match between the Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons, you'd better believe it's heating up. However, for the Dragons, they've seemed to go off the boil a little bit over those first two maps. The first map, Nepal, looked decent. We covered it over the
Yeah.
break. There was some
さあこれあるか
Hollywood was definitely less of a close match.
I saw after map one, I checked Twitter on my phone. And, like I saw a fact, like he tweeted something to, like along the lines of like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, he were. I mean, I mean,
map
there
one was just a circus. If watch it, go back. Well, not now, but after. Go back. And watch it.
Let's have a look now at subs for this particular match.
ああもうほんとそう
はい勝ち
Guardian coming in
So
for
new,
this.
we ain't even got the jersey yet.
If I'm not mistaken, he was with Toronto Esports, which is not to be confused with the Toronto Defiant. So he subbed in for Ding here. So a bit of a revolving door in terms of that flex, I guess, the flex player. You know, we've seen sort of Ding play a couple of different heroes, Sombra and Diva included. So, I mean, interested to see what Guardian has to provide.
Yeah, maybe we see them play Sombra again, but just connect with some more EMPs.
So is that your wish list?
Yeah.
More EMPs?
But expect him to probably play Diva, flex tank role, known for that. So we get into game. Do you see on the offense right now? He's hovering over the Diva, but on offense, always the opportunity to switch it up anytime. Maybe they decide to. It'll be interesting because you're seeing the Reinhardt here for the Dallas Fuel on defense. Usually you would say Winston on B, but if teams take point A here really quick, you still want the ult charge from point A for your Reinhardt.
I mean, it's just as well that Ding's not playing because he could play the Farah into this. You know, that's something that is in his wheelhouse.
And the Dragons, they just wanna go Ryan on Ryan. So I think the Dallas Fuel are okay with this.
Definitely seems to be where Gumps, who is happiest. So they push through the choke. OG gets displaced, but not quite knocked off. Now, if OG were to fall off this ledge, it would be bad news. He tries to stay alive. He gets a repair pack, so he's able to return to the fray pretty much instantly now.
This is like classic Unco, like a turret back here.
There's listen to those ticks as he gets those hits. Gamsu and Diem are down already, and now the rest of the Dragons are going to be run into the ground if they don't escape quickly. There are 3 players in that right-hand side room, and they're not going to get out with their lives.
You know, it's always fun when you watch Unco play. Sensitivity is so high. Like, you see how fast his crosshair's going, like, all over the screen, and he's still able to keep it so steady and just land shots consistently. It's pretty crazy to watch.
On previous teams, Unco was definitely considered by many colloquially
ルート単番だ早っ
an extra DPS player. When he played with AKM on like very early French teams like Rogue, he would sit there with AKM's McCree and just sit in the back line. No one would ever touch them. This though looks a little bit messier. It's going to be a transcendence here for the Shanghai Dragons.
俺が今やってんの
Guardian's mech was eaten up by the cell.
俺が配信してんの今あれ
What
今やってるゲームの
OG manages to get an entire team set up there.
AKM in the corner. A good graviton surge. Got a lot of players inside of it. No follow-up.
ほらツイッチで見れる配信画面と違うだろう映ってる映像
何これ
有料会員限定の
違う。何これ別の場所でユウにも誰かに見せてんのユウ
いや違うよ俺が後で見るように保存してんだよこれライブ配信じゃないとこの画面にできないから
あ、違うこれあれ、ボイスチャットと映像に入ってるボサのあれがあれだった、なんでもないわ
うるせえ外人
そうだよ、本当にいいよ
Gamsu is down. Dallas are doing a great job of disengaging and actually turning into, a defensive structure, getting picks as they back away. Shadow though, Youngji was knocked down. OG gets a couple with that one. And now with Unco going for that transcendence, it keeps the fuel alive.
And the fuel are going to get at full strength here as RCK comes up the spawn, and now you see everybody trying to run away for the Dragons. So, man, things have not looked good for the Dragons.
The fuel look very good on the back foot in some of these fights, but as they're sort of disengaging, they're still able to get killed. AKM is still very charged up late into the fight, so they just back up. They lost OG, RCK, early in the fight, and they were still able to hold on. The Dragons do have one support ultimate that the fuel just straight up do not have. The Transcendence is only going to be coming out in red this fight.
This is a dangerous spot to go and push if you're the Dragons, because you think AKM has to grab a lot of, you can throw it on one of the walls here. There's a big graviton surge there. RCK with the bomb, it goes on through, gets nothing for it. The Dragons are going to use Transcendence as they did get OG there.
The rally here for the fuel will help a little bit, especially as this fight starts to come to a head, but they're missing OG now.
The Dragons have to win this fight.
DM's going to push forward. If they lose this fight, I'd be shocked. Unco, very close to a Transcendence. He can actually get it in the next couple of seconds and use it as a response to this.
ゴーさん見てて面白くねえな
catches AKM out there on his own, and he's quickly removed. There was no chance for Unco to keep his team up with Transcendence, not with how they were split after that fight. So the Dragons spend a lot. They do get point A. And now they're going to try and snowball as quickly as they can, but no real big ults coming right up.
It was a nice grab from DM, though. He sees both tanks up on the high ground, decides to not throw it towards the supports, pick them off. So you just saw the Transcendence come out from Unco. Unco uses the Transcendence now. Dallas wants to get a little bit aggressive here. The Dragons with a good disengage.
You want to stop a potential snowball here from the Dragons. Reinhardt based 3-3 comms after getting point
これ
A.
アイコンの大小は何
In the moments immediately after.
高さ
Youngjin, does he get caught?
あ
Yes.
あ、でかい方が高いところにいるのか
He
そう
couldn't get the Transcendence healing because he was on the other side of that stack of bricks. So that's painful for the Dragons. They just didn't get the optimal setup. And suffice to say that snowball has been averted for now.
さっきのゲームはね割とこうプレミがデスにつながっててね結構参考になってて
あれライブってこれ見れるかハリウッド
そう
Something I noticed from them. Just
俺ハリウッドの方見ていや後で見れるかこれ
with speed boost to get them back out of trouble here.
いやでもあれライブ配信の方だとメインモニターしか映んないからわかんないかもしれん
Samba now immediately brought into the fight here, and the Dragons are trying to push up on the point. Gamsu's trying to get close to OG, but he was knocked away. He's down to one. OG tried to finish him off with the fire strike. Now, but he has to kill himself. At the last minute, OG turns his shield to prevent the fuel from being.
ああそうか俺メインモニター見てないからメインモニターに何が映ってるか知らねえわ
上から映ってるやつだけ 上から映ってるだけっていうの？
それ俺の配信じゃないの？
そう。
あ、そうだ、俺の配信に残ってんじゃん、あのゲーム。外事か？
外事だよ。
ダメじゃん。
本当だよ。
もうダメだ。おしめえだ。
ちょっと早く引退しろ。
さすがにさ、今の会話アホすぎだろ、俺。
さすがに俺もね。
これはアホだわ。
うん。俺もね、って、実際なんか噛み合ってないっていうか、あれだなと思いながら、なんか話してた。
AKM's grab will definitely find a home. Well, now you're stuck in a tough spot if you're the Dragons. Like you want to push in, but you don't
これキャラクターの左上の数字って何？
知らない。
So do you let them just build up towards
知らないか。
another mech? I mean, I think the Dragons need to wait for that. You They're see not that poking at all. A repair pack got used on Guardian. That's how much the Dragons care about. Oh no! He was just about to get his mech.
お、ハルトがお待ちしてる。
That is actually a better stagger than we saw on Horizon earlier on. That is literally a stagger. It's just the little things, man. Like the Dragons have the talent, just a little place. A soul crushing though, isn't it? Like, oh, you see him, he's just about to hit that cube. It burns like 20 plus seconds off the clock, and Dallas did a nice job not letting them just build it up super quick. He just dropped the mech in for a service. He was, got about 180k miles on there. Had it re-detailed, nice splash put on there. And now look, I mean, Dallas is in a position where you use maybe one or two ultimates. You win this fight, you have an advantage. In this fight, even if you only use a few of those, and then you come back the last fight, you have another ultimate advantage. You win that one, you hold on point B. Well, batter up. The Dallas Fuel now going to have to receive this latest onslaught from the Dragons. Earthshatter comes in. Unko was one knocked down by that one. He doesn't have a chance to use Transcendence yet, but he doesn't really want to anyway. RCK is going to send that self-destruct into the backside. Everyone's being forced into that back room. I think it was an Earthshatter from OG to try and set up the self-destruct kill, but it didn't really work. Yongjin was at the front of the pack. Gamsu waited for a bubble while he was in the right room to charge on out and get some damage done. AKM still very healthy on the point, but look at Dallas. They're so split now. They're trading one for one, and RCK is trying to keep Gamsu honest, but he can't really do much to stop Reinhardt's damage from being forthcoming. OG cut down. DM's able to remove him, and he's very well charged up here. It's just Closer that could stall out this point. That's about it, really. RCK was desuited, now to go back. And the Dragons finished the round after some very compromising circumstances. Put them in DEFCON 7 mode, it's safe to say. They were struggling to get things done now. With not much time, no time in the bank. Now the Fuel's job is clear. First up, they're going to finish the map. We'll see you when Fuel comes in attack.
すげえごちゃごちゃしてんな。ごちゃごちゃっていうか、なんて言うんだろう。そういえば、物産なんか有料会員のなんとかって言ったじゃん、これ。
そう。
それでヒーロートークって書いたりすんの？
ああ、200トークンあるよ、俺。
あ、そうなんだ。よかったね。
でも何のスキン買おうかな、つって。単純にもう、今チームいっぱいあるからスキン全部見るのですが、ちょっと時間かかってめんどくせえ。もしかしてだけどさ、これ、ブラウザ4つ開けば画面4分割になるんじゃね？天才かよ。
でも、画面ちっちゃすぎて大丈夫か？
いや、マップはわけわかんなくなるからやめとこう。
でしょ？
うん。 ていうかね、GPS いないんだったらわざわざ画面見る必要ねえわ。
これ何見ればいいの？
主観画面見たいんだったら DPS の画面見るしかないと思うよ。だって、タンクとか、こっから見てる景色って大して変わんないでしょ。裏取りしてるやつがいたときは、そいつの行動を見てたら、なんか、新しいことがわかるかもしれん。タンクはぶっちゃけ頭の中でこのマップみたいの書けないともうできないから。
じゃあタンクいいか、やっぱ。
そう。これ見てわけわかんないんだったら多分タンクできない。
What you could see here is Dallas like try and have one player go to the low ground, and then you're maybe trying to split some players off here. So just get a good idea of
今のこの状況を見て、
これで誰が何してるかっていうのを大まかにでもわからないと多分タンク全くできないと思うよ。
Let me help you heal the rest of my team properly. Gamsu in Primal Rage is low. That Discord Orb is going to make it hurt. But they get OG just before the Transcendence comes out. It's still a trade in terms of main tanks here. Arguably, the Reinhardt loss hurts a little bit more.
That's all three
have that
supporters.
first tick on the point.
何やってんだこいつら。
Positional control now. The Dragons have to rotate high and lose yet another point before they can really come back. But they do get Zachary, so they're rewarded for that. DM
LOL だとな、画面が紙視点になってるからさ、やりやすいんだけど、オーバーウォッチ FPS だからな。頭の中で紙視点作んないとプレイできない。
Using some of their support ultimates at the same time. So you usually like to see them spaced out and not overlap them. And that time you saw them use two support ults at the same time. On the defensive side, it was a Rally and Sound Barrier used at the same exact time. I believe it's the same two that were used here at the same exact time. I think they were trying to save OG in this scenario, though, down on the low ground, as Zachary may not have been able to make it. But
あとはこれ、同通になってるから、もみくちゃなんだよ。
次もみくちゃ。
Only use as required. Gamsu put that bubble down. Oh, that's a shatter and a half. Guardian and Gamsu both not down.
ライブ配信だとあれか。あれ、この URL からやるっていうことできないのか。
そうだよ。
Gamsu doing a good job of
すげえ、
zoning
マ
Uncle
ジ
away
で
from his team, preventing that
意味わかんない。
Transcendence healing from being there, but he eventually sips through the gaps. Now a Transcendence from the Shanghai Dragons and Luffy. It needs to be very good here. Luffy pops out of it, and Unko playing super aggressively in the front line, essentially, to try and chunk down the enemies in Yara, but RCK gets the final blow. Gamsu being down now, and Yojin won't make it back to the point. Now for the fuel, it's simple. Capture point B.
But when you see Nounko in that position, there's nobody really putting pressure on him or getting into space. And when you give a player, like Unko, such a talented flex support, he can put down tons of damage, that much space.
正直思うのは、このキャラクターの向いてる方向の矢印が、他のキャラにかぶさって見えないなってそうだと思う。これが全部浮き出て見えてるんだったらもっと分かりやすかった。
It's starting to go on here, and it's forced the sound barrier out for the Shanghai Dragons, and they are losing players very quickly. One tick now for the Dallas Fuel. On this point, we're still 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. You know what that means? They got a lot of time left. DM goes down. Attempted May here for Luffy as he moves on to the point, but he's used the ice block already. In mid-air, Gamsu was boot back. He can't really get the setup he was looking for. And Luffy is taken down by that Earth Shatter. 2 ticks now for the Dallas Fuel, still with 4 minutes left. Guardian steps up to the plate here. Yongjin not too far behind, but Guardian has a Discord Orb, and it's a Graviton Surge. Another one on towards Yongjin in the corner. AKM gets 2 Gravitons in the space of 1 fight, and the Fuel are well on track to take this map away, Matt.
Very strong attack there for the Dallas Fuel. I know Unko doing a fantastic job on the Zenyatta AKM with those 2 grabs there towards the end. Give the Dallas Fuel a chance to take the series right after the break.
何それ、今までの試合とかも見れんの？
いや、これはね、このモードにできるのはね、今の試合だけ。
なんだ。
他のこの選手のカメラが見えるのよ。あ、現地いるじゃん。これリプレイじゃねえか、ふざけんなかす。いや、本当にリプレイなの？次のゲームでしょ、これ。よかった。あ、現実消えた。死ね。
だからリプレイだって言ってたよな。これは今生放送？
うん。
You have Young Jin with only 10k, so he's getting out healed by Zachary in the Brigitte role by about 4,000 there, which is massive.
Huge amounts of healing for Zachary.
Well, I mean, Luffy's got 11k in Transcendence healing alone.
20k all up, yeah, we've seen that today. That's interesting. Gamsu discorded, doesn't really seem to mind too much. And the fuel tank is high ground again.
ハルトになってんじゃねえか。
Fast up from RCK there. He actually keeps Unko pretty safe on the high ground.
And the more pressure that the Dragons have to put on the point, the more free reign Unko's going to have on the high ground and just start laying down some discords and some shots.
No one's pressuring him down right now. Unko actually chooses to drop. Perhaps he was trying to evade Gamsu, assuming Gamsu would like go straight to the high ground. Unko would hide behind OGE and Gamsu gets taken down. He actually really had nowhere to go. In a pitched battle, head to head, Winston struggles against Reinhardt, shielding the rest of his team. Gamsu didn't have a back way in or a way to get anything done. Dallas Fuel go 3-0 in this series, and that means that they have already won it. There's one more map to play, which is very crucial, considering how both of these teams are on the cusp of win or out in terms of the playoffs. We're back with our last map in just a few moments.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's
こ
go
れで今日の
places.
試合終わり？
1チーム4試合ずつあんだよ。1チームってか、1つの対戦で。
でも、
で、それぞれ前後半あるから全部で8マッチあんだよね。多分もう1個あんじゃないかな。
でもさっき3対0でも、どっちだっけ？青い方の勝ちって言ってなかった？
そうだっけ？
うん。だって4回、
いやでも
4回って4
勝ち負けはあっても次のゲームやるんじゃないの？多分。
やるの？まあいいや、見てればわかるか。
多分ペイロードがまだ残ってると思う。
そう、ペイロード残ってるけど、あと1回勝ったんだよね。意味ねえじゃん。
いや、でも、あれだよ。スポンサーがつくだろ？
へえ。
それ今のうちにスケジュール見とこ
あ、見つかったんでよかったね。
う。見つかってねえんだよな。
へー。
はい、勝ち。
オーバーウォッチワールドカップ。そういえばこんなのあったな。
Well, the victor in this match has already been decided after a fiery first 3 maps. And that was the first map 3 that Dallas Fuel's actually won the season map.
First assault one, so good job to the Dallas Fuel. Coaching paying off, Arrow doing a fantastic job getting the team
毎日やってんじゃねえか。
for the match here against the Dragons. Don't think expected like
ウォッチリーグ。
this match has been this far, really scrappy.
へー。
Surprised the Dragons didn't
ちょっ
play
と待って。
Reinhardt on defense in that last defense play there on Anubis. I think after how their defense went the
これ日本時間じゃねえのかな、書いてあるの。
just opted into the Ryan on Ryan match.
どれ？
I think they were
はい
afraid of Dallas cheesing them out or going for this like DPS heavy composition to
They
this
didn't
map.
the first time.
腹でいい。
今貼るんだよな。
If you wanna go in and change the way
うるせえ。
you play
はい、勝
it.
ち。
So as we mentioned
早
here,
くしろよ。
does matter. So right now, if the Dragons do take this final map, that would be a clinching scenario for the stage playoffs for the Vancouver Titans. So the Vancouver Titans somewhere bumper, he's hanging out. He just realized he just turned the match on. He's like, oh, I'm a Dragons fan now, right? So if
いやでも日付が、これ日本の日付で書いてあるから、
in the top 8 for the stage playoffs.
Again, you see the Fuel have recouped their pretty average map differential now to ±0. So they're pretty happy with that. And that could matter in a case if there's the potential.
0 is still not ideal, but
no. But if there are a bunch of 5 and 2 teams or 4 and 3 teams that need to be separated somehow, you don't want to be the one that misses out because if you lost a map here or there. We got a substitution coming into map number 4 here, and it will be Ding rejoining the Dragons roster.
All right, so with Ding coming in, Dallas should be expecting some Sombra play. Dallas probably.
これガチでさ、朝の4時とか5時にやってんだったら俺もう寝るとき画面配信したまま寝るよ。
ああ、あった。あ、これ日本時間でしょ。
マジかよ。でもこれの時間で言うとさ、なんか全ゲームさ、1時間半ずつじゃん。
うん。
なのにさ、この今日やってるゲーム5個までやってんのおかしくない？
5個までやってるのって？
だって、毎回午前から今度朝早くから始まって1時間半ごとで区切られてんだったら今配信してるわけないじゃん。午後3時に。
ちょっと待って。あ、本当だ、全部4時とか8時半とかになってる。
So the Dragons started the attack here. Shocker! Both teams are playing some.
Yep, not too surprising.
日本時間のスケジュールねえのかな。
So both teams now have swapped sides. So the Dragons are on offense, but now they're just going to the high ground, dropping down, trying to play from the other side here.
And RCK is in such an annoying spot right now. Just straight up behind him. He was on the high ground before. He chose to reveal himself by shooting for a bit.
And you don't.
OG, careful. Repair pack is
there as well.
あれ？え？ちょっと待って。多分これ日本時間じゃねえの？
本当か？
だって JST って日本時間じゃねえの？
じゃあ。
あ、やっぱ日本標準時だわ。明日は5時、6時半、8時、9時半。頑張れー。
いやもう俺、寝るときにオーバーウォッチリーグの配信つけたまま寝てるから。
アカウントバンされるからね。
てか配信が止められてそう、普通に。
アカウントバンされればいいのに。
なんで？
アカウントバンされればいいのに。
Despite the fact that he was EMP, and Dig's able to find AKM just skirting around the edge of the fight. RCK was hoping to hack the guy up, but I think the Dallas Fuel were done what they needed to do now, and this is a bit dangerous here.
Oh, RCK very close there. Okay. I'm surprised he even takes those battles.
いやでも本当にその時間だとしたら今日もさ、これ5時からずっとやってて、オーバータイム長引きすぎてこの時間まで配信してますってことでしょ。
い
や、今日のはね、2時10分からのゲームだよ。
今日だけ午後なんだ。
そう、なんか、これのさ、対戦の詳細って横にあるじゃん。
うん。
それを押すと時間出てくる。
はあ。
今日は10時半から始まってる。はあ。
Both Zarius will have Graviton Surge and Youngjin able to build up towards another rally. Saw Unko's face on stage actually, just looked really frustrated after that because he knows he was in the right position with the Transcendence, used it as fast as possible, but the burst damage just comes into OG so fast that there was no way for him to get down.
I don't know, have you seen what Unko's
facial expression
normally is?
Yeah, but he looked super upset there. He looked really frustrated, like...
He's a man of few words, but it is always written on his face. OG forced back here. Transcendence, okay. So the Dragons want to use this one aggressive. That's really interesting. AKM still grabs into that one, and there's a big EMP. The whole front line of the Dragons were knocked out with no shielding on whatsoever. And I liked it. The Dragons trying to take a fight early. Yeah, the fuel were pushed up. But they had to chase for that one. I mean, they ended up using the Transcendence early on in the fight, Shanghai did, and it gave AKM some time to have them grabbed without the healing from their Zen.
And I mean, look, the Dragons down 3-0 obviously in the series, but a few different things go their way. They come in with like maybe a little bit of cleaner terms of like calling and when they want to engage with some of these ultimates. And they're right there there with the Dallas Fuel. Like,
Emoji.
why these teams' records are so close. But the Dallas Fuel just had the small things down. Unco again pops the Transcendence, was out of the way. Did a good job avoiding getting EMP just a half a second late there.
Shanghai
絵文字で
disengaged.
変な
There's
人のや
nothing
つ
he
作
can
るの
really
やめ
do
ろ。
there to keep OG up. The Shatter comes down, they connect on AKM, they burst him down. Shanghai going on the offensive here.
Maybe maybe Unco almost wishing he was hacked there, so that the fight was over longer. They didn't get staggered out.
But I mean,
However, there was only one person on the payload for most of that fight, so it didn't go very far.
I mean, he is playing it right, Unco. Like, you want to stay out of the line of sight of the EMP, then you want to use the Transcendence.
Yes.
It's just sometimes you have to play so safe that you're not able to make it back. So the payload moving through. Second part of the map is you can see that gate. That's checkpoint B there. So if they can make it to the gate, they'll open up that door and we'll go to the end as Youngjin destroying all of the banisters here.
Yeah, and about it. RCK trying to go for a hack on him, but from above was DM. Gamsu dangerously low, and a very clutch Transcendence keeps him alive. But looks like they want to fight this time, and they get 3 of those EMPs, but it's still going to be a sound barrier from Koma. He still managed to keep the Dragons topped up.
And that was great from the Dragons. Instead of just everybody getting EMP'd and died, Koma stays out of the line of sight, able to land the sound barrier after. It'll be AKM who uses the Graviton Surge. The follow-up not there for the fuel.
See, unlike Transcendence, the sound barrier actually gets taken off you if you get EMP'd during it. Speaking of which, Unco, great timing in that one, but still the burst damage was enough to take down Zachary. And Unco probably frustrated. He's had multiple Transcendences at good times, and it hasn't been enough to save the rest of his team.
Yeah, I mean, look, you may think, like, just watching it from the overall POV, like, man, like, the Transcendences really haven't been getting anything. But, like, you're using them at the right time.
The theory behind them is correct.
The theory behind them is correct. His positioning is very good not to get hit. Just not getting a lot of value out of him right
I mean,
now,
like, he's trying to Transcendence and then someone dies to, like, a charge or some other form of burst damage or Discord Fire Strike or Zen right click.
I think one of the bright spots for the Dragons here today, Mitch, has been Koma and Luffy. Had very good games.
てか、オーバーウォッチリーグどんだけゲームやってんだ。
See the push start to come through,
どういうこと？
いや、スケジュール見てみたけどさ、
Mm.
もしかしてあのチーム全部総当たりしてんの？
そうだよ。
やべえな。
やばいよ。
But he wasn't, and he got that off.
Yeah, Luffy's getting a Transcendence every minute 9 seconds, doing a nice job.
ずーっとやってるよ。
ちょっとこれはリアルタイムで見てらんねえから配信するわ。
もう俺も多分その頃寝てるんだけど。
俺も寝てるんだよな。寝ながら配信して満足してアーカイブ見ない。
雑魚じゃん。
Unco didn't have an ult anyway. I mean, a 4-man EMP. Gamsu doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. It's just Dallas Fuel trying to get away from this fight in general. Been very solid for the Shanghai Dragons on this map. Haven't really been snarled up too much at all. Payload is being contested, or was being contested briefly by Closer. He now gets taken down. OG moves in with that shadow, but he has to get off the payload to charge in. It gets just in time to get beat down. And the Dragons get across the line with a very respectable time.
Really good ult rotations there from the Dragons. In terms of their support ults, who are connected
てか俺
with the EMP.
生体じゃん。行かなきゃ。
Players connected with the EMP from Ding in the first.
いや、配信したままで。
Dragons looking much better here in our map 4.
What we just said, like the Dragons do win this map. It means that through a complex series of calculations and equations.
Yeah, Sideshow sitting at home with his calculator and his protractor adding it all up.
His sock mic.
Get the compass out,
Bag of
doing all
votes.
the math, yep.
You can stay there, Sideshow, by the way, we're fine. OG trying to, yeah, again, go for the game changer here, but didn't quite make the big difference.
Yeah, sound barrier from Koma keeps it Luffy alive. He gets pinned there, and then OG in a world of trouble.
Yes, I'm saying the Vancouver Titans do get through if the Dragons win this match. They make playoffs.
Which the Dragons are in a tremendous position to do that. Taking all 3 points with a minute and 20 in the bank. I mean, you got to try pretty hard to lose this one. I mean,
huge lead. Even finishing this map is difficult enough in and of itself.
I wonder if the Fuel try this Symmetra strat that we saw the other day, where they teleported up to the high ground and then switch off of it to get some kind of high ground advantage.
It does mean that the person switching off Symmetra ends up behind the rest of the team, but if it's Diva, they can just boost up there.
But let's say, for argument's sake, what they could do is like teleport. I thought maybe teleport and then use the Ana for like a biotic grenade going backwards, but we'll see if they decide to use this teleporter. This would be good if the Dragons played close. The Dragons kind of hiding around this corner here.
The Dragons might be ready for this though. If it's going to go on top of the train cart that Koma's standing on,
All right.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, that's not
They
too
got
bad.
the
It's
front
just
one.
a...
Okay.
Right, so we've seen teams try and use it on that left-hand side. RCK just switches to Sombra here. AKM was hacked immediately, which is kind of annoying for him because he gets 0 charge at the start of this fight. And he's not going to get any from that bubble either. Oh, dear. Okay, up the cart they go.
So Gamsu must have hit a big fire strike as well. 74%.
That is huge. Yeah, I guess they're all lined up, man, inside. Oh, there it is. Unco downrange finds Luffy. RCK went down at the same time, but finding that pick there is just massive.
Well, now it puts you in a weird position because the Sombra is going to respawn directly behind you, and the Dallas Fuel are on the other way. It's like not the intended
That's
strategy,
exactly where
but, like,
RCK wants to be, man.
Yeah.
Gamsu's very low here.
Also, the card is moving.
Yeah.
Usually during this, like, you're able to contest if you're the Dragons, but they've let the card move all the way around by big Earls. It's just really odd to see.
Yeah, I would say this hasn't gone the way the Dragons would have liked it to there. And the reason why it was moving is because, quite frankly, the Dragons were being very slow to engage on the fuel after that exchange of support players. Or the Sombra versus the Zenyatta switch.
Yeah, and OG makes up all of that, and they said Gamsu is way ahead. He was like 74 to like 20, and OG makes it all up in that fight. So.
They are very close to that first checkpoint now. 4 meters away. Earth Shadow, oh! It does catch OG. It looks like the RSK was able to get out of there with the translocator. But OG, that kill was definitely confirmed. And again, Ding bullying Unco. Yeah, that's where the Dragons need to focus their attention.
Oh, well, they needed to focus their attention to the cart, though, Mitch.
That was cheeky.
As
That was so
closer
cheeky.
behind enemy lines, so...
Well, you know...
Even when things are going right, they're not going right.
Not the first time it happened today. We obviously saw it earlier.
But still, it's tough for the Dragons. You put together a good fight, and the back half there, it's like it rains of pores, right? As
Lucio players, huh? God. All right, that EMP was 3 players, but not Unco. So the Dragons now, oh, they're in deep trouble. They still managed to get their own Transcendence off. So both teams, Zenyatta's able to avoid getting EMP'd respectively. But now that Transcendence has time down, with that Graviton Surge, this might start to snowball a little bit out of control. Bear in mind, the Dragons already finished this map. So if they could stop Dallas from doing that, and they have at least half of the map left to do so, there is still hope.
And it's a great opportunity for RCK to counter EMP. When they use the EMP, most likely, I mean, you wouldn't use it and then not engage. It would just be kind of actually super pointless. So the Dragons, you know they're going to come in once the EMP goes off. So this will be a grab used by DM. They catch OG. OG is trying to go for like some flank shatter, some kind of bumper move there. He gets caught out in the middle of nowhere. So
on the bright side, he didn't use shatter.
No. And I mean, you did end up having them use grab to kill one player, but it does buy them some time, and it allows them to stabilize, which it seemed like things were getting out of control.
Bear in mind, RCK is sat on the payload. He can actually push the payload. Well,
not again.
RCK's just moving that payload along this whole time.
He's very close.
Okay, he's been spotted now.
I would hope.
Just translocate out. Looks like the Fuel might use this as an opportunity to try and
wrap around,
rotate and engage here. Okay. Closer on the high ground. Again, if you can boot Gamsu off the high ground or someone off there and sort of deny that advantage from them. EMP, it's 6 people. RCK gets 2 kills very quickly on the follow-up. And, well, I'll be honest with you, the Dragons got completely bamboozled there.
There's nothing they can do.
From RCK, drawing them back to the payload.
When you have that many players getting hit by an EMP, there's really such a, like, no chance of winning that.
You can see what Closer was trying to do on top of that main building as well. Make sure that he could boop members of the Dragons into that EMP, get them off the high ground, make sure they were all playing together around the payload to get max bang for buck.
And it's kind of the same thing as Hollywood, Mitch. You know, Ding right now with 13 enemies EMP to RCK's 25 enemies hacked. You know, you're going to see Ding jump up to 31 there. 36 still in the lead for RCK.
Another Transcendence, though, that Unco is able to get off despite there being an EMP, and then he gets DM for good measure. They're going to run Gamsu down pretty quickly. He does get a part and get to Fire Strike. Singes Zachary's visage and sends him back to spawn. But this is going to be another wash here for the Dallas Fuel, and they have 3.5 minutes on the clock still.
And with how difficult it is for the supports to play around these EMPs, I think the supports for both teams have actually done a really nice job with it. I know Koma and Luffy for the Dragons, and then Unco and Closer for the Fuel. And even sometimes when they play it the right way and they play the percentages game, it still doesn't work out. As the Fuel now have taken the high ground here, as the Dragons rally, so you'll be able to just wait this out if you're Dallas. You know you have an advantage in terms of time.
Not everyone on the Dragons even benefited from that. You notice that it was not a lot of armor for Koma. He wasn't
Seemed a little
in that
rushed.
rally. Yeah.
I mean, they were split. You want to rally when you're all together. That's literally what the ability says. Okay, here it is. Graviton Surge on the high ground. Immediately Sound Barrier, and there's really no one there to follow up on the damage. All the Dragons were playing on the low ground, too far away. EMP doesn't really find what they were looking for. Gamsu, DM, Yongjino were all stunned up by a huge shatter from OG, and still the Sound Barrier gives the Dragons the ability to push forward and fight. Closer, oh, he's trying to back away from this one. The Fuel are trying to get the payload as far as they can and try and work on the half of the Dragons to split up.
And that was a much better EMP there from Ding. Connects with a few players, specifically Unko there, so you don't have Transcendence. Shanghai, Koma uses Sound Barrier, able to engage. It's a good fight for the Dragons. You know, that graph that they end up using, it was nice. They captured a bunch of players up on the high ground. I don't know who's going up there to finish them off, though.
I look good, though.
Don't have, like, a diva up there for positioning or anything along those lines.
I mean, I appreciate the aesthetic value of it. This one, though, might just be a little bit more effective outside of looking good here. OG goes for that charge in. There was no bomb to set up with. There's no divas in this match right now. But still, that Transcendence from Unko makes it just so easy for the Fuel to keep pushing forward in a fight where they're not necessarily going to win. Like, they get a couple picks. There's still a lot of damage on the table. As soon as they EMP, they just move up. They know they can win.
And I think there towards the end, as OG lands a shatter at the door, just trying to prevent Gamsu from getting on. As he does come back here, Ding trying to make this interesting. Stall it out.
Hacked.
Yeah, this should be the Fuel able to get onto the point here towards the end, but Luffy comes through. DM just trying to stay alive here, putting down some damage. He gets hacked up as well.
Got the EMP late in the fight. 3 people EMP'd now. Luffy low on the point. Closer OG Zachary there. Coma's low. Now it's going to be a 4v2. The players are here for the Dallas Fuel. They can keep this one going. Payload inching ever closer. Gamsu seems to have actually been hit by that stun. Even though he was essentially out of line of sight, but it must have just hit him, his back leg.
And it's so hard to get the Wrecking Ball off of the cart, right? You have the shields. You see he's going with the ground slam. He drops now, but you're able to have some of the Dragons come alive here off the spawn.
And the Dragons now have gotten Dallas behind them in terms of time bank. They'll be happy with that one indeed. I mean, it's a long map, so getting a minute and 20 on its own is pretty darn good. The Dallas Fuel have their time bank burnt down to about 55 seconds remaining. So it's going to be a 5-second boost for both teams to get Dallas up to 1 minute. And we'll see you guys for the conclusion of this map right around the corner. Righto, here we are back on Route 66. Dallas have a minute left. Rawhide, Shanghai, a minute 27. Here's what happened in the final moments here. I believe this was OG's shatter. Watch Gamsu try and roll. Oh no, okay, that was
not able to get to the cart.
And Yonji might have liked a shield bash, but you notice he was hacked in that final moment, so that wasn't going to be happening.
You know, one of the final fights before, and I think one of the things when the Dragons go back and look at the VOD, they can like kind of start to change up, get on the same page, is when Dallas is pushing them closer towards the end, you had Koma and Luffy alive, and then DM, and both supports go one way, DM goes the other, and they just run over DM, so he loses all his Zarya charge. The supports end up staying alive for a bit longer, but you know, get everybody going the same way, staying together, I think would have been much more effective. As Dallas on offense here, see if they can do limited time, only a minute to push this card as far as possible.
Yeah, it looks like this is just how their playbook has it, Matt. They circle around the Dragons who are defending and put the Dragons in a spot where they can't really take cover. They have to come and contest the payload, and very one-sided affair this time around.
So Ding has to back up. So, you know, you start to get desperate in some of these scenarios when you know, the OT time starts dwindling down and the music starts playing. We'll see, you know, the Dragons, they have to just stay composed, put together a few good fights here. So Ding's going to try and go around. He caught Unko the last time sitting up on this ledge. See if he can catch him off guard again.
Ding very far away from an EMP. RCK is right on the cusp of it.
Oh, big pick.
Gets Unko across the map. Long range work, and you know, a third of that healing core is now missing. Here's an EMP though, catching on a 4 from the Shanghai Dragon. Jongjin, oh, he's looking rough in the backside. This Closer was chasing for that one. If OG didn't get it, he would have. Koma and Luffy playing close together, and DM is able to protect them with his body, but Luffy eventually gets knocked clean out. Now RCK looking for whatever he can hack, and it'll be the health pack first. the Dallas Fuel want to try and set up as much of a long run as they can. And mate, you'd expect the Dragons to try and fight Dallas close here, just outside of this first checkpoint.
They should be able to. EMP, Shatter, and Transcendence. Most likely you'll get your own Graviton Surge in Rally. The Dragons, you combo some of these, very, very difficult for Dallas to power through. Even if Dallas had all of their ultimates, right? You think you can use some of these together for the Dragons to even power through something along those lines, where not a lot of firepower available for the Dallas Fuel. You do have Sound Barrier and possibly Transcendence here, so we'll see if Closer and Unko can play this positioning game.
Ding out there on the dark web, looking to do some hacking. There it is. OG blown up. How will they get off the payload? Nicely done.
It's just a grab off the cart. Nothing you do.
Easy as you like. OG taken down early on, so there wasn't really any way they would have stopped follow-up damage regardless. So that is where the Fuel's push will end. And it's really simple for the Dragons. They just have to exceed that distance, which was 1 checkpoint plus 74.55 meters, which is no median game to you, which is fine. You guys use feet or something.
The Dragons, you know, the Dragons get point A, get a little bit further, and the Vancouver Titans make the same play.
They were already hiding from a potential EMP,
and then the grab just
sealed their fate.
Brings everybody in for a group hug.
Just a real lovely moment there. A lot of affection. There's really no love lost between these two teams. I mean, the Dragons and the Fuel went back and forth very heavily last year as well, our inaugural season. I mean, they played many times together, and there were some very close games between Dallas and the Dragons. The Dragons never prevailed, though.
And I think coming into this year, I think the Dragons had much higher expectations, right? I know a lot of people predicting them potentially stage playoffs into season playoffs. I think, you know, some nerves for some of the, I mean, a lot of these players are new. They don't have the experience of last year, right? Now to come in, I think you put together something like, let's say if you can get, you know, maybe like a 3 and 4 stage with the Dragons, or I mean, yeah, I mean, like let's say you finish, you know, just above 500. I think that would be great for the Dragons. So,
yeah, everything in its own place, right? Okay, RCK down. Okay, very early. DM was able to pick him off there. He was actually behind them at the time, so maybe they just turned on him. And now the Fuel, who were defending, just need to sort of die on the cart here. They need to push up and just end the fight on the payload. That did not go well for them at all.
No, ideal first defense here for the Dragons. RCK, he goes all the way behind enemy lines. See him up on Big Earls. Just kind of waiting there for his team to come back. So the Dragons now, they're going to have Ding up here, just trying to...
Yeah, Ding is looking for RCK.
He's trying to get a hack on RCK when RCK fell back.
Oh, no, really? He was 1v16 against the Fuel. It was still the RCK.
No,
what?
That's huge. So now Gamsu will have Shatter coming up. You don't even think Dallas fights this. The Dragons still, you know, time is against them here. You know, they have to get to that golden box of victory.
No, they won't fight this.
RCK is got to be careful. He was out over on the bridge. Yeah.
This payload probably gets through. Now, it takes some time for the door to open, so we are going to be in overtime by the time the payload gets here. So it's still just one fight that Dallas need to win. But what ultimates do they actually have, really? Close to switch to the Ana here, because they know they're not going to be running. Wow, Ding!
And he's got... Oh!
He was just too deep. He was pushed in. Ding would have had EMP for this fight. But now the Dragons are without him. Youngjin's also gone down. They're going to throw the Transcendence into this fight and hope to try and make something happen with only 4 players. The Fuel patiently let him back up a little bit here. Who's going to swing into this grab? Gamsu, be dangerous for him to do that. EMP connects here, and it hits very hard. 4 players.
RCK's got EMP as well.
He's going to use it back now. 4 players on the Shanghai Dragons. Gamsu down already. AKM found DM. Off towards the side. Koma's trying to stay alive, but it forced off the payload. And the Dallas Fuel. What on earth was that? Sombra's dying in the weirdest places.
Zachary's got his hands up in the air like, what? Like, he has no idea how they escaped with that one.
Delayed EMP from RCK, despite them having lost a couple of players. A clean 4-0 for the Dallas Fuel. And I will reveal this publicly. We're kind of, you know, we're unsure going into this match. I talked to AKM, he said, I don't know, dude, like this could be...
Dragons are tough.
This could be it. And the Dragons, you know, propelled by the desire to collect that salty run back, but the Fuel remain undefeated by the Shanghai Dragons and go 4-2. Still very much a chance for their playoff chances, the playoff odds on the line. they've got to come out of this season stage more than 500.
And the 4-0 maps is huge there for Dallas. You needed to make up something in the map count department in terms of win-loss. Getting a 4-0 here is massive.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I'll give you the big tip. Let's head down to the floor with Mika and young Zachary.
Thanks, guys. We got Zachary here. Give it up for Zachary, Overwatch Arena. You are the new blood on the Dallas Fuel. You're kind of the rookie, but you've been getting a lot of play time. What is the switch like going from contenders to OWL? What's your mentality?
So contenders to OWL, a lot of it, like Overwatch League teams have a lot more resources than contenders teams. So your coaching staff, like the top-down views, like there's a lot more analysis you can put into the game. So there's a lot more intricate stuff than in contenders, where it's mostly just like, all right, we have these comps, let's just play better than them. But in Overwatch League, like especially with Dallas, where we have a bunch of coaching staff and we have a lot of resources, like we get so much feedback and strategies and so much intricate stuff that we can do in order to like be better than everybody else. So it's a lot more structured.
Well, it seems to be working out. You guys are doing pretty well. And speaking of which, you guys are a huge contender for being in the stage playoffs, and your last match of the stage will be up against Boston Uprising. How are you feeling going into that? Do you have any strategies you guys are working on, or are you just really hunkering down and going for the basics?
I think we're really confident moving forward. Like this match against Shanghai was really important to us because now we have the big green 1, so we're positive in map score for once. So it was very good to give us a chance, and the teams that we need to be like losing, so we have a really good chance we're losing this week. So going into the Boston, I think we're just gonna focus on basics, you know, just play goats, and just make sure we're clean and fixing all the issues that we had this match.
Well, congratulations on your big green 1, and congratulations on your win today. That's all we have down here. Back to you, Mitch and Matt.
There we go. Not too shocking to hear what the plan is going to be for the Dallas Fuel moving forward, but one match left inside the stage for them. Look at them now at number 5.
And the Boston match is certainly winnable. You win that, you go to 5-2 for the stage. You know, that green 1 turns into like a green 3, and I mean, look where they can go. Jump right up to the top.
I mean, they do have a chance to get themselves into the top 4 here. Our last couple of weeks are going to be incredible for playoff implications, I'll tell you that. It's time now to announce our player of the match, brought to you by Omen by HP, and it has to be the boy, Benny. Unko comes out with the honors today.
Yeah, I think he's just a tremendous flex support. In a league where we have so many flex supports, I think Unko kind of goes underappreciated at times. He can deal damage with the best of them, right? The positioning with the transcendences, always in the right spot. Ungo deserves some love today.
That was an important pick on Guardian there, who was just going to remech and keep fighting on that point. Took the Zenyatta orb to the knee, was never the same since. Unko, great performance from him over the course of this match. 109 eliminations, 23 deaths, but more importantly, 32 final bros. So, you know, in the head-to-head, like the kills that he gets to deaths, he's positive. So.
And I mean, the damage amplified by the Discord orb is huge as well. 20k damage. I mean, that is a great use of the Discord orb, providing some extra resources for the rest of the team.
Well, it's been quite the day, ladies and gentlemen, from breaking bread with friends to kicking things off here on a Friday. We made it rain a couple times, and so did the Vancouver Titans in their first matchup. There were so many super faces in the crowd. We even had goats, more than we normally had. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Overwatch League action. Tune in. It's going to be a great weekend.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
What's cracking, people? Welcome to another edition of the Watch Point Post Show live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. I'm your friendly neighborhood console player and host Malik Forte, joined at the desk by Zoe, Brant, and Wolf. Guys, another exciting day. We had some high-level Overwatch finally today. Some good matches. But again, as I always ask at the beginning of the post show, what was the biggest takeaway? We're going to start with you, Wolf.
I don't know. I just really thought the Dallas versus Shanghai series was going to be a lot better. I really enjoyed the New York series previously, but this felt like as bad as Star Wars Episode 2, this episode 2.
Oh.
It was like the Sombra Wars, but no, the acting was bad. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it.
The last Young Jin?
Oh,
The last Jedi?
my goodness.
All right, what about you, Brent?
For me, oh, man. Where does one begin? Where does one begin? When we saw some good quality Overwatch, I think, out of the San Francisco Shock and a New York Excel, I had question marks in my mind before the games today. I was wondering, can NYXL perform well against another good team? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
So that's what I learned today. I learned that despite the fact that NYXL were not being tested beforehand, you know, a bit of adversity, they still come out on top.
You know, a lot of people are going to take the match that the Shock had against Vancouver and the match they had against New York and compare them. There's going to be people out there that do that.
Yeah. I mean, they can do that. I'm not. You know, I'm going to take them separately as they are.
Yeah.
But it's I can definitely tell. I think Shock will be disappointed with today, obviously, because the scoreline being 4-0, it doesn't tell the full story. This was such a close series from start to finish. I will wrap my point up in a moment, but it's like they're going to be kicking themselves because every single map was winnable at a certain point.
For sure. All right, so what about you?
I learned a lot. As per usual, you know, every day is a learning curve here on the desk. I learned that Cruz is still the X factor when you give him free range and you don't actually try to, like, counter him and keep him busy. He is still making those big plays happening for his team. I also learned that Ben Best was a lot better than I expected. I really think that in some parts of that match against the Titans, he really went toe to toe with Bumper, which made me super excited. I also learned that the San Francisco Shock, I know everyone else hyped him up and picked him as like a top 3-4 team. I did not, and I can publicly say it now.
Oh, God.
But now I will.
This is super bad now.
But now I will. Shut your mouth, Brent. No, I needed to know that they're for real. I felt like the games I've seen from them in the past were not against opponents I personally would rate quite as high.
Right.
So seeing how they actually performed against NYXL, who did try hard, and seeing how close they got, that really impressed me. So for me now, they are 100% top 4 team.
All right. That's good. I was actually very impressed by Paris, too, personally. But guys, of course, don't forget to get your Overwatch League All Access Pass. It's the only way to check out the live Q&A with Young Jin from the Shanghai Dragons live on Twitch right after Watch Point. Now, Young Jin and his Shanghai Dragons faced off against the Dallas Fuel today for the second time in a row, and both teams were fighting for their playoff lives. And coming out of halftime, the Fuel were up 2-0 and building off the success they had against Shanghai last week. Could the Dragons pull off a miracle reverse sweep to help their stage playoff hopes? RCK and the Fuel said, nah, son, you got to earn this W. Another solid second half from the Dallas Fuel, and definitely not as close as the first game.
No, but yeah, the very first round of the first map, that looked close. I got really scared about my prediction here. I actually tried to, like, in my mind, I already flip-flopped. I should have picked the other ones, but I'm glad I stuck with it. I'm really, really impressed with that game. I didn't expect it to be that one-sided in the end.
Yeah, so I didn't think it was going to be that one-sided either. I mean, either way, I thought it was going to be a closer series. I just feel like the Shanghai Dragons tried something different today, which was not necessary in a match that's so important for them and so close. Like putting Guardian in, for example, totally was off to me. I think they should have kept Ding in longer. We also had Gegari's start, and she had some great moments, but there were some not so great moments there at the end of Nepal. It's just a series that I feel like all Shanghai fans are going to be left with question marks as to why these decisions were made and why we did not see the same form from the Dragons tonight that we saw in their previous series against the Fuel.
I completely agree with you. And it comes back to an earlier point that you were making as well, Wolf, about Shanghai just being an emotional team, I think, inherently. And if you get these early losses, the early loss from control, eventually it starts to rack up, and you can definitely see the team kind of deteriorating in a way as well in terms of their play. I think they played under potential. I don't think they played up to what they could from what we saw in their previous match against Dallas Fuel. Dallas came in, no credit to them as well, came in with you know, a lot of prep. You know, they came into it with the understanding that they were going to play Ding Sombra. They counteracted it. You know, RCK in particular really impressed me as well, actually, with his Sombra play. He stepped it up significantly since the start of the league.
Right, right. Do you think the Dragons got in their own heads after that first map when they kind of botched that last team fight?
It's impossible to tell, you know.
Yeah.
Like from the gameplay, I would definitely say that there was an issue there, like in terms of the team play with their general play in total. But you know, it's impossible for any of us to tell unless we're literally in the communications, listening to them. And
yeah, but neither of us speaks Korean, so no. Yeah, even if we were in their comms, we still wouldn't know.
Exactly.
I could have known, but I wasn't. I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Right, you actually speak Korean.
I think what we have to take away from this series is a combination of two factors.
Yes.
You have Shanghai trying a bunch of new stuff all at the same time. They have that emotional first loss where the map was clearly winnable. And on top of that, Dallas really leveled up. I mean, they really came prepared for this. Yeah. You can see it in RCK's play. You could see how they played completely differently, trying to counteract Ding Sombra. Matching the Sombra versus Sombra was just what they needed.
All right, and now the Dallas Fuel, they're in 5th place. Do you guys believe that they can stay there?
Everything is possible in the Overwatch League. But that's
Anything
the thing.
That's true talk.
No, but it's true though. Like we never know what a team is going to look like on stage.
Yeah.
Like we can only predict so much looking at statistics. We can look at numbers and we can look at their previous games. But in the end, this is still all a matter of how are they feeling today? Like, are they going to show up? Are they not? Like, anything is possible. So for us, it's really just a guessing game.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a guessing game, but we have had these crazy upsets. You have the Atlanta-Paris match that kind of went in a big circle there, that love triangle situation there with the Gladiators as well, where everyone's always saying, oh, look at this, they won this, and they must be better, but then they end up getting upset and losing, like Atlanta just did in their previous match against the Gladiators. So, I mean, upsets do happen, but I think it is a rigorous schedule, and you have to look at the fact that this was a repeat match for the Shanghai Dragons. They come off an emotional loss.
Yes.
But I think that the Fuel have definitely leveled up a lot. AKM filling effects shoes extremely well, and I think this team is just going to get better from here.
Right, and Dallas with that win, one step closer to the Stage 1 playoffs. But guys, we're going to take a quick break, but coming up, we break down how the NYXL capped off a perfect 7-0 stage with a statement win over the Shock. More Watchpoint Post Show coming up next.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
It's okay. Boys, honestly, we played well. Yeah, they were the hardest team we meant to play against. We have more games. We can still do this. Like, honestly, like, they're the hardest team to play against. We should be proud about this performance.
Look at Cruz. Despite the results, the Paris Eternal were still able to keep a positive attitude following their match today against the Vancouver Titans. And let me tell you, the battle of the goat herds, the kings of the 3-3. This was a match that was tightly contested from start to finish, but a good one. A lot of this game was both of the squads basically punching each other until someone made a punishable mistake. It was so good, you could hear Bryn, Squill, enjoy every team fight.
Yeah, So one thing I actually am curious about, Wolf, because you've particularly been on like the train of like, let's not overhype Paris as a team when it comes to triple tank, triple support. What did you think personally then of this performance?
In this particular map, I was a little bit surprised that Vancouver Titans used Summon So on McCree, and I was wondering, you know, because if you're going to do that, normally you have Stitch in, right? I was just wondering what their confidence level was against Paris on 3-3. They gave them a lot more respect than I thought they would, and I think it came back to bite them when they were running that McCree. When you look at this map, I mean, this is when things started to really turn towards the Titans. We saw Jana with that incredible push-off self-destruct play. I think the wind was out of the Eternal Sails after this map.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. Honestly, like, I think it was repeated issues from Paris. I'm thinking back to this series. It was quite some
The
time
alt
ago.
management, I think, was the key
Exactly.
factor there. It was really all coming down to the alts being used in the most odd scenarios, I dare say. It just kind of felt like they don't understand how to use them and combine them together. Like they initiated weirdly and then didn't follow up. So it was, yeah, I'm not sure what the conversation was like in comms there.
Yeah, when you're fighting against a team like the Vancouver Titans that's so aggressive and Bumper is always trying to find flanks to hit these big shatters, you're going to have bad team fights. You're going to have bad ult management because you're trying to yell and calm about where Bumper is, what he's doing against such an aggressive team. One thing I want to talk about just briefly about this is we got to see Shadowburn's return to pro play here.
Oh, yeah.
This was a big shock to me when I saw him walk out on stage. I was very excited because he's one of my favorite players back from the beginning of Overwatch. And a lot of Korean players like Haksal, for example, have come out and said they were inspired by him. You know, Haksal was an aspiring Genji in Korea when Shadowburn came out first. So it was kind of a cool matchup to see them face off here. But I think that he's being groomed to replace Soon in this Zarya role right now. And I think that is incredibly important for them to be able to utilize him because even though he didn't have the greatest Zarya game of all time, I do see small tweaks, I do see small improvements, and I don't think this is something anybody saw coming. It was kind of like the ultimate weapon, the secret weapon for them. Didn't work out in the end, but I like that Paris is not afraid to try something like this.
Wolf, off the back of what you just said, because I'm actually a big Shadowburn fan too, what were some of those improvements that you saw? Was there anything that was really stand out that you noticed?
I just feel like his grabs were overall, minus the ones that did whiff, like better. His movement was better with the team. Bubble management was better. It's not that he's massively better, you know, than Soon in every single regard or anything like that, but it's the small things that you notice in Zarya play. Felt like the cohesion was better. And, you know, given that he's actually a Russian player on this roster as well, that's impressive to me as well. That he's able to come in and synergize very well here.
Right. Definitely good to see Shadowburn back out there for the Paris Eternal. But moving along, a loss against New York today would not be great news for the San Francisco Shock's playoff hopes. So you best believe they came in focused and gunning for a victory. The Excelsior were playing no games, going for a perfect stage record, but the Shock weren't competition to sneeze at either and pretty much traded blows with New York the entire game. This was such a sick showcase of Overwatch in its most competitive form.
It really was, and it was so close. If you were looking at the stats at the very end of the series, like they really matched up well, and that's something I did not expect. I did not expect New York to actually be baited like that. I didn't expect them to be forced into a faster-paced kind of play style, into more aggression. We saw Mano going out there, which he usually wouldn't. Like, they actually abandoned their backline in some scenarios, which is something we've barely, if at all, seen from New York. So the fact that San Francisco Shock managed to take them and like get them out of their shells was super impressive.
Yeah, I will say I'm actually impressed as well with Shock. You know, I said it before, you look at the 4-0 scoreline, you think, oh, it's a one-sided affair. It wasn't. It was actually very close between these two teams. I was wondering what improvements they were going to be making, and from what we saw of Shock, I liked everything that I was seeing. I was liking the fact that Super and Sinatra were playing a lot more reserved than they usually were. So playing kind of into the kind of NYXR tempo. New York Excelsior, very good team at disengaging. Like, disengage is their bread and butter, and they weren't really falling into the repeated traps that I thought that they would as a team.
I feel like New York really passed the test, though, because even though Shock pushed them to the limit, forced them to hard engage fights, which is not what New York does. They struggled on Nimbani, they struggled to the earlier parts of Volskaya, but by the end of the series, they were winning those fights, and it was, in my opinion, all Nene and Meko making it happen. Really great plays. Jonox, usually the star of this roster, because he's the one chipping away. That you see the speed boost come through, you see New York clean everybody up. Shock didn't allow them to do that, and yet still New York was able to stay composed, and that makes them such a terrifying opponent. They could play both sides of the coin here, offense and defense. such a scary team right now.
I think they might be the scariest team right now to play against, just in general, because like you said, it's every point that you've just hit on the head there. This team is just unreal. Like, even when they're being pushed and pressured, this is the first time we've seen them really sweating. They still come out on top. Like, that is just absurd. This is a squad that is really just not slacking in the slightest.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen Jonak neutralized in such a way, and they still win 4-0.
Yep.
It's wild to even think about that. Now let's take a look at the Zarya numbers from Nene and Sinatra. Wolf, you casted this match. What did you see from that individual matchup?
When you look at this, you could see the stats are incredibly close. And this is another moment where we have to praise Sinatra, right? You know, look at, he has higher hero damage done, and only 3 more deaths, right? So he's tightening it up. He's playing more passively, but yet he's still able to out-damage Nene. The problem is that what these stats don't show, you know, minus the limbs per graviton surge, is that Nene was able to consistently get the kills in the proper fights. He knew when to engage and when to actually make that damage more valuable.
Right. All right, well, we're going to move along. So I'm really curious to hear what you think about the shot keeping, you know, a 12-man roster. I mean, it's all talented players, but it seems like it's kind of too big of a roster. And we saw last year with, like, the London Spiff.
I have seen this. I have foreseen this. I know what's going to happen with the shop. I can tell you all about it.
It's Johnny.
What? Get the hell away from me.
What is Johnny doing?
What the hell is this?
I know what will happen to the shop. This is Watchpoint Studio, am I right?
Yeah, you're in the right place. Okay, lost that mustache quicker than Monty.
It's so good to see you all again.
Wait.
Oh, Brennan.
Where have they been keeping you?
Brennan, it's so good to see you.
Have you been in the cupboard this entire time?
Have you sorted out the dishwasher yet? When was the last time you took out my dishes?
Okay. I don't fully understand what's going on right now.
Oh, it's so good to see you. You've grown so much.
I'm gonna call HR.
Wolf, when I last saw you,
I don't know what's going on right now, guys, but we're going to take a quick break and get things sorted out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's too late for this, man. It's too late for this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
I should have just shielded it. I wanted to try and pin the Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, man. Super took that loss pretty difficult, pretty hard. All right, so I said we'd have this whole thing sorted here, but honestly, I don't know what's going on right now. I really don't, but I do know that we're being joined by former main tank for Rogue and Team Sweden Reinforce.
It's so good to be back. So nice to be here.
It's been a while since we've had you at the desk, man.
I brought you a gift.
I
brought you a gift.
Have
they played any Reaper since I last left?
Yeah, there was some Reaper. It was been bad.
Did it win?
No.
Yeah, so I figured.
It's been terrible.
I have seen the future. I knew it would fail, so I brought you a gift, Malik.
Okay.
I brought this cookie to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, there was a
Lovely.
new store opening up down the street.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
called Cookie Crumbs and Company. So we recommend you check that out.
I appreciate you, Johnny. All right, so we were just talking about the San Francisco Shock, and it it seemed like I can't do this with you right now, dude. It seemed like something.
In our ears. Yo, just let Johnny be educational for a little bit.
I know.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? How
He's educating you about the new cookie shop.
Dude, all right, sorry.
Look,
sorry.
Johnny, I just want to know.
Is there a problem, sir?
Oh my God. Where did you even get this?
It's my latest project.
Johnny,
Could I
do you
show
have
you?
anything about the San Francisco Shock in this book?
Oh,
Whatever
I
this-
have plenty. Let me show you my book.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
show us.
It's, well, wrapped.
You'll get that. Okay.
See, thank you, Zoe. Can you do this old show? So I was very
Yes,
fortunate.
I can. Let's
I
see.
was very fortunate, I must tell you, that I got this signed. The foreword is by Sideshow. So I'm going to show you it now. I haven't seen it myself yet, but Sideshow, I'm still working on title, but Sideshow did the foreword in this very book, and I will show you here. Here is the foreword. It says Paris number 17. I don't know if I agree with this. Paris, I'm sorry, we gotta... Bren, could you do the new forward? Does not work.
Yeah, of
17.
course.
Paris are way too good for 17. I do not agree with that.
Okay.
I
you want me to
have
write you
tons
a
of
new,
stuff here.
a
I can
new
flip through the book if you'd like, Malik.
Yeah, I want to know what's up with the San Francisco Shock. We were just talking about
I'll
them
give it a look.
Okay.
Can you hold
Going through this
back?
book.
What
This is
am I-
bigger than Bryn's book from last year. Jeez.
Oh yes, here it is. Yes, San Francisco Shock. They are a really stacked team. But unfortunately, they have 12 players on their entire roster, similar to the London Spitfire last year, and it has yet to work out for a proper team. They are very much young and unproven, this squad. So despite all your efforts to hype them up as such a good team, they just doesn't have it yet. They need to click as a team and maybe even give the few players a boot. Who knows? They have
Can
too
I ask
many.
you a question?
They don't have enough.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Oh, yes.
Sir?
Yes.
So where would you play Shock then, right now?
I think they're a solid top 5 team, yes.
Okay.
But they're not quite there yet, my young Brennan.
What's holding them back is the big roster, is what you're saying.
Yes, they have too big of a roster. There's going to be internal conflicts. They have 5 DPS.
Yes.
What is Baby Bay doing?
He's such a good player, and he's wasting away on the bench.
He's been gone longer than you.
Where has he been?
Oh, no.
I am very much confused.
Don't do that. All right. Well, Gandalf, or I don't even know what to call you.
I
Johnny
am
the
Johnny
Wise.
the Wise.
Johnny the Wise. I'm sorry.
Reinforce is no longer. He fell in the Battle of Bangkok with the mayhem that was Team Sweden. But I have returned as Johnny the Wise. And I'm here to bless you with knowledge
Johnny the Wise.
of an actual pro player.
What else do you have in that book that you can show us? Show us more predictions.
Plenty.
Okay. Give us something.
Oh my goodness.
I like that Brent turned into an umbrella stand for
Why am I
Magic
holding this?
You're his caddy now. Get used to it.
Gesture! What an amazing Winston player he is, but he is not the best main tank in the league. I told this before the season started. I told you at the Overwatch League that Gesture is not the best main tank in the league. But alas, Monte Cristo, he praised him. He thought highly of him. But I tell you, no, he is not the best main tank in the league. He has a great Winston, and he has a good Orisa, but he's not a good Reinhardt. Bless his heart, he just doesn't know how to play the hero. He feeds. It's unacceptable, I must say, and I hope you all feel blessed by this knowledge and stop praising his Reinhardt skills.
He's gone better. He's definitely gone better, Johnny.
A better isn't good.
All he does is hold shield and jump back. They
Yeah, I'll
put
give him some
profit on the
credit for that.
Zarya.
Yeah, I'll give
They
him
have
some
guard
credit.
on the brigade. Of course, he looks better. He has a better team behind him. Have you seen his shatters? His fire strike kills are ranked 18th. Now he has the 3rd fewest deaths in the league, but that's just because he just goes backwards. He doesn't actually go forward as much.
Yes. When I rate Reinhardt players, I look at fire strike kills. That's a metric. Yes.
Fewest deaths, Johnny. I know that's not what you're about.
Oh, back in my day.
The ranking Reinhardt.
I know it's not what you're about.
Johnny the Wise, I
Back
got
in
one more
my
for
day.
you. there's one thing I know you've been up to. You release power rankings every week.
Oh, that is true, yes.
The
yes.
Overwatch community, a few of them had a bone to pick with you about your power rankings. So
yes,
we
that is
we
true.
want to take a look at that.
That is true.
You've got Dallas at number 6, the Dallas Field number 6. Explain yourself to the people who were not too happy with that.
Malik, wasn't I handsome then? Look at that.
You
Look
were.
at
You were a
that
handsome
phenomenal
lad,
picture.
bro.
Wasn't I handsome?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, to the power rankings, of course. Dallas Fuel ranked 6th. And what did the fans say? They doubted me. They said I was wrong, alas. They sweep the Shanghai Dragons today with a 4-0. Do they not deserve to be number 6, Wolf?
I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards number 6-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
looks
here
much
we are.
better today.
And I have seen the future once again.
Oh, man. Johnny the Wise, you I love it, man. I love it. Yo, it's been great to have you at the desk with us, Johnny the Wise. Will you stick around? We're getting ready to do some over-the-top moments of the day.
No, I don't have time for this. I must go and coach my brethren, Wizard Young, and tell him how to actually coach a team. Farewell.
Okay. All right.
Just throw shade at Washington. He's dipped, man.
And he's out of here. All right. Well, the rest of us will be back with our over-the-top moments of the day after this. Welcome back. Let's take a look at Twitch teams, or which teams, rather, are getting the most love on Twitch today. The Atlanta Reign, they're still on top of our Cheer Bits leaderboard. Everything's pretty much unchanged at the current moment. Any surprises to you guys? None?
Vancouver's still not in there yet somehow. That's kind
Okay, all right, pretty soon. And also, as you can see, we have our individual leaderboard here as well. Nothing. Oh, wait, what happened to...
He's gone.
He's gone. He's gone.
U505 Type 9.
Yeah, we have Lackish
There we go,
Bobby,
find him.
who's bumped into the top 10 too. This is awesome. All right, well, guys, keep those cheers coming. And speaking of cheering, it's time we see which moments made us cheer the most today. It's time for the most over-the-top moments of the day. And at number 5, we've got a sneaky, cheeky back cap by our boy Cruz on Lucio.
What killed me about this is them trying to use the transcendence as well to catch up. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it in this kick. Yeah, see, he's like trying to use the speed. It's like, no, come on, please, Cruz.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do the back cap.
I mean, this fight was clearly won by the Titans as well. I think they definitely should have just gone back.
Oh, that's so good. Look at him really not like being sure if his team is still behind him.
Hey, guys.
What I still
Very awkward walkouts here. Youngjin, he
can't believe it.
He can't stay on the payload. He can't nail the walkout. Like, poor guy.
Directions are hard.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's really tough.
The walkouts sometimes are the hardest part.
Where's he going, man? He's going out the arena.
Oh,
bless him.
Bless him.
All right, Bumper doing what he does normally and being a big bully, being aggressive.
This was brutal when I saw this.
Yeah, this is tough to watch.
Like, you're thinking he's going to put Fincy out of his misery. No. Sorry. Straight back there.
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It just doesn't stop either.
This is actually very tactical when you think about it. Next up, we had the voice of Symmetra herself in the building. This is a great moment today. This one gave me the chills, actually, to be honest.
Absolutely. It was super wholesome. If you've missed it, definitely go back and hear her out, hear what she had to say. That was a beautiful moment. Very, very inspiring.
Very inspiring indeed. Look at the flex right there. So beautiful. Last but not least, we had Janu drop in the Diva Bomb like a coin in the whale.
All right, this is like a drop shot in tennis or something, man. This is just like super finesse what we saw here. I was actually getting super hyped when I saw this backstage. It was in my mind. Nobody called this a boop, though. There's too many terms in Overwatch called that. This is not what this was.
Yeah, no.
A nudge?
Yeah, a nudge maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little nudge over the edge.
A nudge. All right, guys. And looking at tomorrow's schedule, lots of great action. Personally, I'm looking forward to that Guangzhou Charge versus the LA Gladiators matchup. Anything you guys looking out for?
Seoul, Washington.
Seoul, Washington.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Zoe, like, Zoe, just wait for Zoe's reaction. I just looked at Zoe. No, in all seriousness, the last match of the day, Hangzhou versus Toronto Defiant. I think that has potential to be very good.
Huge playoff implications on that matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rivalry that exists in Korea between these two teams as well. So excited to see how it shakes down here in the Overwatch League.
All right. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us today. We saw some amazing women at work today in the Overwatch League and around Blizzard. And I just want to say Happy International Women's Day. And let's make sure we make every day feel like International Women's Day. Let's normalize it, okay? Not just one day, all year round. Puckett and the crew will be back tomorrow for the pre-show live at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. So, guys, until then, have a good night, everybody. You're going to do it. Yeah, you're not. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Player Q&A time. We have a special guest. Everybody, make some noise for 영진 from Shanghai Dragons. 영진 선수 반갑습니다. 인사해 주세요. 카메라 보시고.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Hello.
네. 이름이랑 name, what team, and your position. 자, 이름이랑
네.
팀 이름, 팀이 어디시고 또 이제 포지션.
저는 영진이고 닉네임도 영진이고 상하이 드래곤즈의 플렉스를 맡고 있습니다.
Hey guys, my name is Youngjin. My nickname is also Youngjin, and I play for Shanghai Dragons, and I play Flex. Flex 뭐야? 얘기를 해주세요. Flex?
예?
포지션.
포지션이요?
네.
잡다한 거 다 하고 있는데?
I do everything. That's why I'm Flex. All right, cool. Thank you. Take a breather. 영진 씨, 휴무업 한 번만.
괜찮아요.
괜찮아요?
네.
All right. 자, 질문을 제가. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then you answer. I translate, and then we'll be done. 자, 제가 질문하면 답을 해주시고 편하게 답을 해주시고 제가 통역해드릴 테니까 너무 걱정하지 마시고. 영진 씨, 준비되셨나요? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Starting off with our first question of the night. This one is from Romade67. What does the name Youngjin mean to you? 영진 선수에게 영진이란 이름은 어떤 이름인가요?
이거는 저희 어머니께서 지으신 건데 늙어 죽을 때까지 올바르게 좀 살아가라 이런 뜻입니다.
So the name Youngjin comes from my mom. My mom named me with Youngjin, and saying that she gave me the name Youngjin because she wanted me to live my life properly until I age and I die. Right, very deep meaning. Actually, I want to follow up with another question. Is there a reason why you use your real name as your nickname? 그 영진이라는 이름이 이제 어머니가 지어주신 이름인데 이걸 이제 닉네임으로 이제 게이머 아이디로 쓰게 된 이유는 뭔가요?
저는 제 이름에 자부심을 갖기 때문에 그런 뜻으로 똑같이 한 겁니다.
The reason is simple. I just chose my name Youngjin with my real name because I had a lot of pride in my real name Youngjin. All right, cool. Thank you. That one was from Romade67. Romade67.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next question. This one is from Kamurf13. What was the transition from Korean contenders to Overwatch League like? 컨텐더스에서 오버워치로 오게 되시면서 그 과정 좀 어땠나요?
과정이요?
네. 어땠어요? 좋았어요?
네, 좀 험난했죠. 그러니까 이제 컨텐더즈에서 이제 준우승을 하고 저는 이제 따로 뭐 리그 쪽에서 연락이 없어가지고 그냥 거기서 그만둘까 하다가 저희 지금 상하이 드래곤즈 감독님이 저를 불러주셔가지고 지금 이 자리까지 오게 된 것 같아요.
So it's been a bit rocky to summarize everything. I've made it all the way up to the semifinals for contenders, and then I was actually thinking about if I wanted to continue on this path, and then at that time, that's when Shanghai Dragons contacted me, and then I got to where I am. Good, great, you're doing great. 너무 잘하고 계셔요. 자, that one was from Kamurf13. Kamurf13.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one. This one is from Stefan Francis. How did it feel to be a part of the first win? 자, 상하이 팀의 첫 승리, 역사적인 순간이었는데 그때 또 플레이를 하고 계셨잖아요.
네.
그 순간 좀 어떠셨나요, 개인적으로?
사실 상하이 팀의 첫 승리라기보다는 저희 이제 지금 팀이 리그에서의 첫 승리라서 그거를 의의를 두고 좀 그때 좀 경기 끝나고 그래도 1세트 보스턴전이었는데 1세트 마지막 세트를 따지 못했지만 그래도 괜찮다. 리그의 첫 승리가 기분 좋다. 뭐 좋았던 것 같아요.
So I don't want to put too much emphasis on the fact that Shanghai, our team actually got the first win. It was actually the first win for the Overwatch League as a whole, as a franchise. So that one was we were up against Boston Uprising. It was, we couldn't unfortunately do a 4-0. The Boston Uprisings took the last map, but I'm actually happy that we pulled through. 끝에 가서 한 번만 더. Sorry guys, let me just ask him one more time. 마지막에 그래서 보스턴이랑 4-0으로까지는 안 갔지만 3-1이었잖아요.
네.
그다음에 뭐라고 하셨죠?
기분이 좋다?
기분 좋다. So I was right. He said he felt good. All right, cool. Thank you. That one was from Stefan Francis. Stefan Francis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one. This one is from Kitsune13_. As the Shanghai Dragons improve, who do you see as the toughest opponent in your division? 자, 상하이 팀의 디비전에서 상하이 팀의 디비전에서 제일 강한 상대 팀이 있다면 어느 팀이 있을까요?
그 상하이 팀 디비전이 그 아시아 쪽.
네, 그 뭐 태평양
디비전이죠. 태평양 디비전에서 역시 밴쿠버는 아닌가?
밴쿠버. Shanghai is which division? Are you guys Atlantic? Pacific, yes. 태평양 맞아요.
맞아요. 밴쿠버로.
밴쿠버?
네.
All right, so we had a little trouble which division Shanghai was in. I think Youngjin was a little confused as well. It is Pacific Division, so Youngjin picked as the strongest opponent, as everyone thought, Vancouver Titans. Do you feel like you guys could Never mind. We'll save that for later. We'll save that for later. Alrighty. So that one was from Kitsune13. Kitsune13.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one. This one is from Shadow Chief. Shadow Chief asks, if you got to go on a cruise with one hero from the Overwatch universe, who would you take and why? 좀 재밌는 질문이네요. 오버워치 영웅 중 한 영웅과 크루즈 여행을 떠날 수 있다면 영진 선수는 누굴 데려가고 싶으신가요?
저는 역시 솔저를.
Soldier 76.
Yeah.
Why?
저랑 같이 그래도 경쟁전을 하면서 제일 오래 한 영웅이기도 하고 저를 좀 인상 깊게 남겨준 영웅이기도 하고 하니까 네, 저 그 솔저랑 같이 가고 싶습니다.
I chose Soldier to take on a. I want to take Soldier on a cruise with me because I have a lot of memories with Soldier. He carried me a lot through the competitive game, and that's one of the heroes that I am most fond of. All right, cool. Thank you. That one was from Shadow Chief. Shadow Chief.
Thank you.
Next one. This one is from Chub B Streaming. What are your hopes for the Dragons as the first stage ends? 첫 번째 스테이지가 이제 끝나가고 있죠.
네.
상하이 팀에게 영진 선수가 좀 바라는 것이 있으면 있다면 뭐가 있을까요?
이제 상하이 팀한테 바라는 거는 그래도 1스테이지를 좋은 성적으로 거두지 못해 좀 많이 아쉽겠지만은 그래도 저희가 이제 팀 한 맞춘 지 한 달도 아직 안 돼가지고 그래도 이 정도면은 많이 괜찮다라고 생각을 하지만 이제 스테이지 2에서는 좀 더 열심히 해서 이게 이상한데?
Do you wanna redo it? It's okay. We have time.
바라는 것이 있다면은
네, 바라는 것이 있다면 뭐가 있을까요?
딱히 바라는 게 없는데. 너무 잘해주고 있어가지고 팀에서 저희 선수들이나 이제 코칭 스태프들이 한테 해주는 대우가 너무 좋기 때문에 딱히 바라는 게 없습니다.
So my hopes, I don't really want anything from my team. There was just everyone on the team, the staff and the players, everyone's been so nice and everyone's so supportive and everyone's really trying their best as a team. So I don't really have anything that I want from Shanghai Dragons. All right, cool. Very good answer. Thank you. That one was from Chubby Streaming. Chubby Streaming.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Next one. This one is from Ace Re or Acer E. Sorry. What do you do personally to manage stress you build up in and out of the game? 자, 스트레스 해소를 위해 좀 개인적으로 하시는 것이 있다면 뭐가 있으신가요?
저는 그냥 따로 그냥 스트레스 받으면 그냥 제 자신한테 그냥 묵묵히 그냥 뭐라 해야 되지? 명상을 한다 해야 되나? 그러고 하거나 아니면은 매운 거를 좀 많이 먹습니다.
So whenever I'm stressed, I tend to just close my eyes and just sort of meditate and get my mind straight. Either that or I also eat spicy food. I heard that spicy food's really good for, whenever you're feeling stressed. So people who are watching, go eat spicy food. Alrighty, that one was from Acery. Acery.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one. This one is from Nolly the Gnome. If there is one tip you can offer to improve a Brig player's performance, what would it be? 브리기테 유저들의 실력 향상을 위해서 한 가지 팁을 주자면 영진 선수 뭐가 있을까요?
뭔가를 하려 하지 말고 이제 아마 브리기테를 픽했다는 건 이제 저희가 고추 조합이겠죠? 이제 저희 팀한테 좀 기대면서 저희 팀이 캐리해주길 기다려야 될 것 같습니다.
So if you're playing Brig or if you're a Brig user, there's a high chance that you're running the 3-3 comp, the 3 support 3 tank composition. So don't try to just do so much by yourself. Rely on your teammates to sort of carry the game and carry the flow. 네.
또 한 번 또 하자면은.
Okay, one more thing. Okay.
좀 말을 좀 많이 해야 될 것 같아요. 저는 이제 대회나 이제 스크림에서 저는 브리핑을 잘 못하는데 좀 약간 그런적인 부분을 좀 많이 해야 될 것 같아요. 브리기테를 하는 사람들.
그 말을 하라는 게 이제 좀
팀이랑도 그렇고 이제 뭐 대회나 이런 팀 한타 중에서도 그런 거 많이 해야 될 것 같아요.
Alrighty, and Youngjin also pointed out that if you're a Brig user, communicate a lot, talk with your teammates, and talk with the people who are on your team in order for you to efficiently use your hero Brigade. All right, cool. Thank you. That one was from Nolly the Gnome. Nolly the Gnome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Last question. This one is from Sphinx ill. Oh no, I'm sorry. Ill Sphinx Lee. There you go. Oh my God, that one was so hard. Favorite ice cream flavor. 자, 제일 좋아하는 아이스크림 맛은 영진 선수 뭔가요?
저는 메로나입니다.
Merona.
예,
It's a Korean melon flavored ice cream. That is my favorite favorite ice cream. Alright, cool. Thank you so much, everyone. That one was the last question. 영진, last words. 자, 이게 이제 질문은 끝났고요. 마지막으로 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
지금 이제 저희 상하이 드래곤즈를 믿고 응원해 주시는 팀들한테는 죄송하지만 이제 플레이오프는 힘들 것 같은데 스테이지 2 진짜 열심히 해서 꼭 결승전 우승하도록 하겠습니다. 많이 저희 믿고 따라와 주신 분들한테 너무 감사하고요. 앞으로 더 나아진 상하이 드래곤즈가 되도록 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
So thank you guys so much for those of you who are supporting Shanghai Dragons. Thank you for all the love and support. I honestly feel like the stage 1 playoffs might be sort of out of our reach, but starting from stage 2, we will practice harder. We will do better so that we could join the actual season playoffs and kind of show you guys and make all the fans proud. Thank you guys so much for the support. I love you guys. Cool. Thank you, 영진 선수. 자, 이제 빠이빠이 해주면 돼요. 저랑 같이. 아시죠? Alrighty guys, thank you guys so much. My name was Danny and
상하이 드래곤즈 영진이었습니다.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
감사합니다.